Hello everyone, welcome to Scholarhead YouTube channel. In today's session, you're going to learn about how to write a SQL query in SQL Server. In this today's session, you're going to learn about what are the various SQL clauses we have, how to write a query, subquery, what are the various predicates we having. So everything about the SQL query you're going to learn about in this video. If you're coming to the channel first time, I request you to please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell icon so that you will not miss any update about such valuable videos. So let's get started with the session. SQL query. A SQL query is an expression that retrieves data from the database. So SQL is case insensitive, but it is recommended to use keywords in capital letters, and whatever the database objects we are using, use as it is. And SQL query we write with the help of SQL clauses. So we are having select, where, having, order by. So these are the various clauses we use when we write our SQL query. So let's see how we can write a SQL query. So we already having a demo database. So this database I will share with you as a SQL script so that you can also use it on your local machine to practice the various things. So here on this demo database, I'm just going to write a simple query. So make sure the selected database is here DemoDB. So I'm writing here a basic query here using the select statement. Let's say select asterisk from. So I said it is recommended to use these keywords in capital letters. So select asterisk from customers this way. So it is returning us all the customers detail. If you want to filter the thing, so I can use here where clause to filter it. So to filter, let's say I'm using here country. So I'm using here country equal to UK. So in SQL, we don't use the double quotes for using the string. The string we always write here using the single quote. If you remembered in C# we use double quotes when we are using the string, but in SQL we use single quotes always. So I'm wrapping the string in the single quotes. So this is the where condition I applied. Now execute it. Now I'm getting here only the customers belongs to the country as UK. And right now it is returning all the columns here. If you want to select only few columns, so those columns name you can define here. Let's say customer ID. I'm accessing here, let's say company name. I'm accessing here, let's say city, and I'm accessing here, let's say country. Now let's execute it. So this is the way I'm getting here customer ID, company name, city, and country. So this is the way how we are getting it. And if you will look at here, it's using the square bracket. So it is using square bracket because there is a space in the column name, customer space ID. Similar way in company space name. So whenever you are having the space in the column name, so just wrap the column in the square bracket. If you don't have the space in the column name, you don't need to wrap the things in the square bracket. And usually when we define the columns name, we never mention the space. We directly write the things. So here you can change the columns name from here. So there is option here, table design. In the table design, I can remove the space here if I don't want to use it here, like this way. So this way I can remove the spaces here. So usually we never mention the space, we write the things directly like contact title this way. So this is a recommended way here for designing the database. Now let's save it. Let's did the changes. Similarly, we can find out in other tables also. In category, it's following the same thing. So do the same changes over here. Category ID and here name also. So here now we have removed the spaces between customer and ID. So let me remove the spaces here also this way. And I don't need to put here like square bracket because now it is without space this way. Now let's execute it. I'm getting the data here perfectly without any issue here. So this is the way how we can write a simple query to fetch the data from the customer table. SQL Subquery. So SQL Subquery is inner, or you can say the nested query that provides data to the enclosing, or you can say the outer query. So the objective of subquery is to provide data to the outer query. Other subqueries can return individual values or a list of records depending upon the query here. And here the subqueries must be enclosed within parentheses. So when we write a subquery, then there we wrap the subquery within a parenthesis. So let's see how we can write a SQL subquery which can provide the data to the outer query. So this is the SQL database we already having. Now let's say I want to fetch the customers here. So let's fetch the customers here from a country which belongs to the orders tables. So what I'm doing here, I'm just writing a query here. Let's say select asterisk from customers where country in. So country now we will fetch from the orders table. So let's get here select distinct ship country. So their name is ship country here from orders this way. So now let's select only those customers who belongs to the country available in the orders table. So you can see I'm getting the record here. So this is the way how you can write the subquery here. So subquery result we are returning to the outer query here, so that the outer query can do the further things. SQL clauses. So SQL clauses we use when we write the SQL query. Now let's understand what are the various SQL clauses are available for writing a SQL query and what is the objective of each clause is here. So let's start with here SQL clauses. So first one is a select. So we write a query in the SQL with the help of select statement. So select statement is used to fetch the fields. So what are the fields you are willing to fetch? Do mention with the help of select clause. Then we are having here from. So in the from we define the data source. So data source can be a database table. It can be a view as well. So from where you are willing to fetch the data, do mention after the from clause. Then we are having here where clause. In the where clause we define the filter condition. So by default it is written all the data, but now I want to filter the data based upon few conditions. So those conditions we specify here. Let's say return all the customers belongs to country in India. Then we are having the clause here order by. So order by clause is used here for arrangement. So let's say I want to arrange all the customer ascending by their name, like descending by their name. So how you are going to arrange the data, that would be done by the order by clause here. The next one is a group by. If you want to create the group of records, so let's say I want to create the group here based upon the city. So all the customer belongs to the, let's say city Noida will comes in as a one group. All the customer belongs to the Pune city will comes to the one group. And the next clause is here having clause. So having clause we use after the group by clause. So whatever the things we have mentioned in the group by, if on those things you are willing to apply the further filter, then in the having clause we can apply the filter. Let's say it can be the case, let's say about the customer. Just group the customer based upon the orders. And if a customer order count is let's say greater than 10, then only those customer we need here. So here I'm finding out how many orders a particular customer placed. If a customer placed the order more than 10, only those customer we are filtering. So in that case the having clause will help you. So based upon the grouping, the having clause we are doing here. Now let's understand the SQL clause with the alphabet demo. So we already having a database, so there we will write the query. This is our old query. So here you have mentioned In the select clause, we have mentioned what are the columns we are willing to fetch. Here, this is our data source. It is a table here. This is my filter condition. If I want to arrange the customer in ascending and descending, I can use here order by clause. Order by, let's say I'm using here company name. Company name. And by default, it will be here ascending. If you will look at here, by default, it's ascending in company name A, B, C, E, I, N, S. If you want to use a descending, then you can use a D, E, S, C. Now it will arrange all the companies in descending order. So now it is returning us the customers order by company name as descending order. So this is the way how it is returning to us. So usually we use these clauses here, let's say select, from, where and order by. But if you want to do the grouping and other things, we write the different style query. So here we have used select, from, where and the order by clause. Now let's say I want to apply here the group by clause. So what is the requirement? First understand that one. I want to find out the customers country wise, like how many customers belongs to the country UK, how many customers belong to the country USA. So here we can do the grouping of the customers based upon the country. So let me write here a new query for the group by, and this time I'm selecting the customer total based upon the country. So I'm just counting the customer here based upon the customer ID. We can count, and this would be here total. So let's say here we will show how many customer belongs to the UK. So it will show us the customer total in the UK country. It will show us the customer total in the USA country. Now I define the source. So source is here again customers, and I'm not defining here any where condition because we are doing the grouping here based upon the country. So let's use it directly. Group by class. Let's say group by clause we have used. So group by country, this way. So now let's see how many customer belongs to each country. If we will look at, from Argentina we are having 3, from Austria we are having 2, from Brazil we are having 9. So this is the way how we are getting the customer belongs to each country. So these are the country wise customer total. We are not showing here each customer separately, we are just showing the customer total country wise. Now let's say I want to find out those countries who are having more than 5 customer with us. So in that case I can apply the filter using the having clause. So I can use here having, and here let's count the customer ID greater than 5. So I'm just selecting only those countries who are having more than 1 customer. We will select now. So Brazil, France, Germany, UK and USA, all these are having more than 5 customer. If I'll mention it's a 10, it will show us only France, Germany and USA. If you will check it now let's see. You can see I'm getting here only 3. So having clause is helping us to further apply the filter. And if you want to apply here the order by, so order by you can also apply here, let's say order by country. I mentioned a country, so now it would be order by country name. So France, Germany, USA, it is ascending order. And one more thing here, when you are selecting these columns, so what are the columns we have mentioned here? So these columns make sure has been used in the group by clause. If these are not used in the group by clause, you cannot access. So let's say I'm just going to access here company name also, let's say comma company name. If you will try to run the query, you will get the error. It is showing us the company name is invalid because not contained either in aggregate function or in the group by clause. So here when you are using the group by clause, so only those columns would be used whichever you are using in the aggregate function are in the group by clause. So if we look at here, customer ID I'm not using here in the group by clause, but customer ID is the part of this aggregate count function. So if you're willing to use company name here, so you need to mention here company name in the group by clause, then you can access it. So just do one thing, total comma company name. Now let's execute it. Now it's working fine. So it's not giving the output because this customer ID count is not going to match with the country with the company name, because now it's doing the grouping first based upon the country, then it's doing the grouping based upon the company here. So based upon two columns the grouping is done, country and the company name. So if the company name is not giving the desired result here, so I'm just removing it because this is not the objective here. I'm just making it as it is and it's working fine. Let's say 10 and it's working fine. So this is the way how you can use the group by clause, having clause and the order by clause. SQL clauses, order of execution. So far we have used various SQL clauses, but now it is mandatory to understand which clause is going to be executed first, and like what is the exact order of execution. So here in this picture I'm just showing you here in which order the clauses are going to be executed. So first the from clause is executed because first we need the data source from where we need to fetch the data. Then it execute the where clause to filter the records. Then it use the group by clause if group by clause is available. If group by clause is not available, then it's go to the select clause to retrieve the data from the database, like what are the columns you have mentioned, it's directly pick up from there. But if the group by clause is available from the grouping purpose, it group the records here based upon the columns you have mentioned in the group by clause. Then it's go to the having clause if having clause is available. So in the having clause you can apply the filter on the data whatever you have selected in the group by clause. Then it's go to the select clause, and after the select clause it's go to the order by clause. So order by clause is the clause which is going to be executed when actually we fetch the complete data set. After fetching the result set, we do the data arrangement either in ascending order, either in descending order. So this is the way how the clauses are going to be executed. This is very important to understand when you are dealing with the SQL. SQL predicates. So when we write a SQL query, so that time we need to apply some logical condition. So with the help of SQL predicates, we can apply the logical condition here. So SQL offers us distinct to get the distinct records in a database table. We can use here between, like if you want to get the records between a range, so that time between and predicate will help us. There is a in predicate, so where we can specify an array of a string, like an array of IDs. Based upon that we can fetch the data from the database table. There is a like predicate if we want to find out all the customer having the name starting from ABC, like starting from XYZ. So we can use here like, which can be starting from, which can be and from, or like which can be in between. Then there is a predicate for is null. So I want to find out all the records which are having the null values. So there I can apply the is null predicate here. So whenever you need to apply the logical condition while querying your database, that time SQL predicates will help us. Now let's understand the SQL predicates with the alphabet example. We already having the database. Now with the help of SQL predicates, we will filter the things. So let's say I want to fetch here the countries in the customer table. So select asterisk, let's say select country from customers. And as a best practice, you should use in uppercase this way. So I'm just going to fetch country from the customers. If you will look at here, the countries are going to be repeated, but here I want to get only the distinct country. They should not be repeated. So I can use here the distinct predicate. Distinct predicate I'm using here. Now it will return us only the distinct country. So now no country would be repeated. So there are 21 countries here. So this is the way the distinct keyword will help us to get the distinct record. Let's see how we can use the between and predicate here. So let's first of all select all the records from the order table. Select asterisk from orders. So if we look at in the order, in order we are having here freight. So here I can apply the between on this freight. Let's say just get the orders who are having the freight between like 1 to 4. So in such cases we can apply here the between. So I can use let's say where freight between 1, let's say 2 and 4. I just applied here between. Let me select here only those orders who are having the freight between 2 and 4. Right now if you will see the freight is here 18.59, 79.45, but now it will get only between 2 and 4. So you can see here now the freight we are getting here only between 2 and 4. So this is the way between and predicate we can use together. Now let's see how we can use the in predicate. So let's say I want to fetch only those customer who belongs to the few countries. Select a string from customers where country in, then define the country name here. Let's say just select only those customer who belongs to the country UK and USA. This way. Let me make them in uppercase. This way. Let me select the customers who are in UK and US. So we will see it is only selecting all the customers who belongs to UK or USA. So these are the only customers who belongs to the USA and UK. So this way you can use here in predicate. So now let's see how we can use the like predicate. So I want to find out those customers who belongs to the country which are starting from, let's say, U1. So country like, I'm putting here percentile, let's say U. Let me save the query here. It would be here SQL predicates. So let me select this. So it should be actually after this U also. So you can see it is selecting all the customer who are having the U either in between, either in before. If you want to get starting from U, this way you should write here. So you can see it's only returning us UK, USA, because these are starting from U. But if you want to get like the country who are having the U in the last, so this is the way you can write here. Now we'll look for U in the last. But we don't have any country which having the U in the last. Let's say use here K. So now we are having here UK, we are having here Denmark. Both are having K in the last. Now if you want to get those countries who are having K anywhere, so use here K between the percentile sign. So it will look for K anywhere. So there are only 2 here, but if you look at for U, then you will have more than 2. You can see UK, Austria, Portugal. So all these countries having the U somewhere in their names. Now let's see how we can use the is null predicate. So I want to find out those customers who belongs to the region as null. You can see few regions are null here. So that I can filter based upon the is null. So it would be here region is null. Let me select. So you can see all the customer we are getting who belongs to the region as null. So this is the way with the help of predicate we applied more logical condition where we are filtering the data here. So this is the way the SQL predicates are helpful while writing the SQL queries. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please do share with your friends and the colleague, and also do subscribe to Scholarhead YouTube channel and click the bell icon so that the information about such video you will get automatically.